Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I, Utkarsha Joshi, would like to extend a warm welcome to one and all. The topic for today's conclave is reimagining MSME growth opportunities in a smart finance era. From small businesses, big dreams, and a nation to transform. That is what the story of Indian MSMEs is so far we could see. As India enters a transformative phase driven by entrepreneurial growth, financial innovation, and deeper global integration, there is a growing need for meaningful dialogue between policymakers, financial institutions, and the business community. In this context, we are pleased to organize this MSME Conclave 3.0, which is themed at reimagining MSME growth opportunities in a smart finance era. The conclave has been curated as a focused platform to bring together enterprise leaders, capital providers, policymakers, and global trade stakeholders to discuss the evolving financial landscape for MSMEs, emerging IPO opportunities, regulatory reforms, and structured approaches to international market access. Through this conclave, Chamber aims to provide a platform for MSMEs, entrepreneurs, financial institutions, policymakers, and industry leaders to come together, share their knowledge, and discuss strategies for growth, innovation, and opportunities for Indian MSMEs. Moving on, I would like to invite Mr. Rajiv Anand, President Bombay Chamber and MD and CEO IndusInd Bank, to please deliver the welcome address for today's conclave.
Thank you, Utkarsh, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. At the very outset, I'd like to brief you a little bit about Bombay Chamber, and we were having just a conversation before this with Rajesh as well. The Bombay Chamber has been playing a proactive role in India's development for the last 190 years. The Chamber serves as an effective vehicle of communication between regulatory bodies, corporate world, and the society at large. I've had the privilege to mention that among its thousands of members encompassing a wide spectrum of industry bodies, one-third is represented by large corporates and two-thirds is represented by MSMEs. It is very interesting to note that more than a dozen of the large corporates have been members for over 100 years. I have the proud privilege to mention that this year's mission is an attempt to marry the rich legacy of the Chamber with opportunities that can be unleashed in this new global world by working together as India Inc. We believe that the more that we can come together as leaders of India Inc. and work with governments and regulators, higher will be the value that we can unlock for each one of us. This year's theme, Shaping the Future, Innovation, Inclusion and Impact, have 5 mission elements: catalyzing sustainable economic growth, driving technology and innovation, empowering human capital, deepening public-private partnership, and modernizing the Chamber for the next generation. Considering the context, the Bombay Chamber has undertaken and very actively engaged in activities in aligning our mission. To name a few, the Chamber's main area of operations include advocacy in almost all areas, both to government as well as judiciary. The Chamber has many subcommittees with eminent members who regularly interpret new notifications and new notification laws apart from the state and annual budgets. These committees take feedback from members and make representations to government as well. The Chamber has also helped their members in facilitation of business visas and issuing certificate of origin for exporters. In fact, Bombay Chamber is one of the leading organizations in issuing digital COOs. The Chamber also has a labor advisory wing which plays a crucial role in employer-employee relationships, and in recent years has started a mediation wing as well. The Bombay Chamber conducts over 100 seminars and webinars every year working with our members. The MSME sector continues to remain the backbone of industrial growth, trade expansion, employment generation, and the innovation ecosystem. At a time when global supply chains are undergoing a rapid realignment and digital transformation is reshaping business models, Indian MSMEs stand at a critical inflection point. With access to smart, scalable, and innovative financial solutions, MSMEs have an unprecedented opportunity to enhance their competitiveness and integrate more deeply into global value chains. Considering the context, the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry is delighted to conduct MSME Conclave 3.0 themed Reimagining MSME Growth Opportunities in a Smart Finance Era. This conclave brings together enterprise leaders, policymakers, financial institutions, and global trade stakeholders to deliberate on key enablers of the MSME advancement. It features focused discussions on the new labor code, IPO-led access to capital, and structured pathways to global markets, along with presentations by leading banks and financial institutions showcasing innovative financing solutions to empower MSMEs and accelerate growth in an era of smart finance. We are privileged to have a distinguished panel of esteemed speakers who will share valuable insights and experiences and enriching today's discussions. My appreciation to our valued partners who've been steadfast in their support and have been integral to this conclave. Premium sponsors, Pidilite Industries. Insurance partner, the New India Assurance Company. Associate sponsors, Axis Mutual Fund, IDBI Bank, CGT MSC, State Bank of India. Knowledge partner, Bombay Stock Exchange. I am very, very grateful to each one of our sponsors. I am confident that this conclave will empower MSMEs with the knowledge, resources, and support needed to address challenges in growth, talent management, financing, and internationalization, enabling them to drive sustainable development and contribute meaningfully to the nation's economy. I once again thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us and encourage you to actively participate and make the sessions more engaging and interactive. Without any more ado, I now request Utkarsh to invite our next speaker. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome Mr. R. Srinivasan, Co-Chairperson, MSME Forum, Bombay Chamber, and Director, AIRA Consulting Private Limited, who will set the theme for today's conclave.
Good morning. It's both an honor and privilege to address this distinguished gathering and set the tone for the MSME Conclave 3.0, reimagining MSME growth opportunities in a smart finance area. The MSME sector remains the backbone of India's economic growth, driving industrial development, trade expansion, employment generation, and innovation. At a time when global supply chains are being realigned and digital transformation is reshaping business models, the Indian MSMEs are at a critical inflection point. With access to smart, scalable, and innovative financing solutions, MSMEs have a unique opportunity to enhance competitiveness and integrate more deeply into global value chains. In this context, the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry is pleased to present MSME 3.0, themed Reimagining MSME Growth Opportunities in a Smart Finance Era. The conclave focuses on significant topics, each highlighting a critical aspect of MSME growth. The fireside chat on the implications of the new labor codes on MSMEs will offer practical insights into their implications for MSMEs, including compliance, workforce management, and operational efficiency. The second session is on Country Spotlight, Trade Corridors for Indian MSMEs, where Honorable Consul Generals and Trade Commissioners will share first-hand perspectives on global business and trade opportunities, covering sourcing, technology partnership, market access, and export facilitation. The third session on powering India's growth cycle through MSME IPOs, and I can see Mr. Ajay Thakur just entered. Welcome, sir. Aims to familiarize enterprise with IPO processes and highlight how public markets can support long-term expansion. The final and critical session will include presentations by leading banks and financial institutions, showcasing innovative financing, trade finance, factoring, and working capital solutions designed to fuel MSME growth in the smart finance area. We are set for a dynamic and insightful day of ideas and dialogue, and I invite you all to actively engage and maximize opportunities this platform offers. With that, I won't stand between you and the interesting sessions. Let me request Utkarsh to take this forward. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to welcome Mr. Rajesh Kumar, Deputy Managing Director, Retail, Agri and SME, State Bank of India, to deliver the keynote address for today's conclave. Shri Rajesh Kumar joined the State Bank of India as a probationary officer on the 1st of August in 1991. In a career spanning over 3 decades with SBI, he has held various assignments encompassing treasury, retail and corporate banking. Mr. Kumar, as the head of Agri and SME business, is responsible for the bank's entire Agri and SME sectoral programs. His previous assignments include RM of Pune, Deputy General Manager, Business Operations, Secunderabad, Executive Secretary to the Chairman, General Manager in the Networking in Mumbai Metro and Maharashtra Circles, and General Manager at CAG Branch, Mumbai. Sir was recipient of Chairman's Club twice due to his exemplary work as a regional manager at RBO, Pune, along with his excellent leadership skills. As Chief General Manager, he headed the Hyderabad Circle and was responsible for the bank's business in state of Telangana, where SBI has a network of over 1,200 branches. So a round of applause for our keynote address, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. I would like to invite sir on the dais.
Thank you, Utkarsh. And good morning, everyone. I believe the biodata should be read in front of the, especially the in-laws. So they will come to know what kind of a person he is. You just I have to keep this. I can give it. Well, after the 35 years, you have a lot of experience, whether you are in the bank or in the MSME world or wherever. So once again, good morning, everyone. And Mr. Rajiv Anand in absentia, he is not here as of now. Mr. Srinivasan, other dignitaries from Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I think before I go ahead, I think when Bombay Chamber of Commerce came to meet me and they said they are having more than 190 years of existence. So I said, you are competing with SBI. With 219 years of existence in the finance and the banking world. We have been core to the banking fraternity, core to the banking facilities, core to the growth of the country, and we call ourselves as the proxy to Indian economy. Mr. Anand shared about some of the initiatives, and I must compliment Bombay Chamber of Commerce for the kind of work they are doing, especially in the MSME world, the kind of awareness and seminars, because ultimately for SMEs, what I feel, a lot of awareness is required. People are not aware, not only the MSMEs, many people in the branches also not aware what kind of products are being offered. And previously, I think since we are talking about this Conclave 3.0, and we are talking about reimagining MSME growth with the smart finance era, people will remember in the 80s, I think even the personal loan, home loan, car loan was not in existence, correct? If you think about 80s, 90s was a transformation with the private bank coming to picture and the people. Because earlier people were into the credit facilities only, and the retail was not at all offered at that time. I think now we are talking about inflection point of MSMEs. The same transformation, I believe, is going to happen in the MSME world. I have some scripted written here. Yesterday night I wrote, I was not able to take the printout. We'll try to give some of my inputs in terms of my experiences in the banking and the MSMEs, but some facts need to be given in terms of some data points. I think it's really privilege for me here to be standing in front of each one of you, and it's an honor because ultimately Bombay Chamber of Commerce is doing a lot of activities in creating that kind of space for the MSME, facilitation for MSMEs, and your awareness drive. See, it's a privilege as to speak on a subject which is basically at the very heart of India's economic journey, and that is about MSMEs and how smart finance can become the catalyst for the next phase of growth. I spoke about the retail happening earlier. Now that the inflection point is coming to MSMEs also, people say the collateral has been replaced by cash flows, isn't it? And people must agree here. I will give you some data points also. As of September 2025, there are 6.3 crore MSMEs registered on the Udyam registration portal. And Udyam Assist portal collectively employing 28 to 29 crore people, contributing towards 30% of GDP and 45% to exports. These numbers, of course, during the day, everybody will keep on mentioning about it. So when we talk and aspire about $7 trillion economy by 2030 and Viksit Bharat by 2047, these data points are the real indicators of the fact that MSMEs are not only just one segment of the economy, actually they are the backbone of the economy. And I must compliment all the people who are working toward that direction. But despite this scale and the importance and the backbone, I think we have seen the issues earlier in the historically faced by MSMEs. A lot of hurdles they have faced, especially in terms of the timely and affordable and appropriate finance. MSME, for certain regions, people were not so much inclined towards giving, maybe the delinquency was earlier factor, or whatever maybe the reasons with all the bankers and the financial institutions. For decades, financial systems were built around balance sheets, collateral, and long credit histories, a criteria that many MSMEs, by their very nature, could not easily meet. So the credit processes earlier, giving some context about what happened, and people are aware about this also, credit processes were slow and paper heavy. Risk assessment was conservative and exclusionary. Informal and semi-formal enterprises remained underserved. A significant credit gap persisted despite strong demand. Many times we must be hearing about the huge credit gap in the MSME world, 28 lakh crore, 30 lakh crore. I gave some number of the total registrations in the Udyam registration portal and Udyam Assist portal. But incidentally, this was not due to lack of intent by the banks. I'm not favoring anyone standing here. This was not due to lack of intent by the banks, but was due to limitations of the traditional financial architecture. That architecture is now being fundamentally reshaped and reimagined. Thanks to a lot of initiatives of the government, RBI, everybody is taking in terms of creating such kind of facilitation and space for MSMEs to come forward. Thanks to the 4 pillars of digital public infrastructure, that is JAM Trinity, Udyam registrations, account aggregator framework, OCEN, Open Credit Enablement Network, ULI. So today, we are reimagining it in an era where finance is no longer a hurdle. Must be there still. I mean, people may say there's still some hurdle there. Today, we are reimagining it in an era where finance is no longer a hurdle, but a powerful accelerator. And I will give you some numbers what we are doing going forward. This era is the convergence, and I saw it somewhere in the newspaper also. This era is a convergence of the fintech innovation, data-driven finance, artificial intelligence, policy reforms which becomes the enabler, and embedded finance which are transforming how capital flows to MSMEs. This convergence is leading us to a paradigm shift from traditional finance to smart finance, and which is the topic which we have chosen here. And I'm very much thankful to Bombay Chambers for having this topic discussed during the entire day. What is smart finance is not just about faster transactions or mobile apps. It represents a deeper transformation in how financial institutions understand risk, serve customers, and create value. At its core, smart finance integrates advanced data analytics and artificial intelligence, digital payments and transaction trails. It integrates open banking and API-based connectivity, cloud infrastructure and automation, and it integrates partnership with fintechs and digital platforms. So what's happening now, the earlier used to be a judgment which was based on the lending. These elements have really allowed us to move from a judgment-based lending to evidence and insight-based lending. And perhaps people sitting here must be also seen if they're banking with some of the banks and they are into some borrowing arrangement, or maybe the bankers also, those who are sitting here. Of course, Mr. Anand has gone now. So what it really means for MSMEs. First is the movement from collateral to cash flows. So transaction histories, invoicing records, GST, tax filings, supply chain data, and digital payment behavior allows banks to assess the real economic activity of enterprises, no more into one balance sheet only now. So we have the transaction history is there, we have the invoicing records, the GST, the tax filing, supply chain data, digital payment behavior. So all these has helped in terms of taking a decision by the banks for the cash flow based lending, credit access for first time as small borrowers also, reduce dependence on physical collateral. And let me tell you, the collateral percentage, CGTMSE also is part of this event. The CGTMSE coverage for our banks used to be around 40% till last year. This has gone up above 80%. So no more collateral actually is being asked by the banks, our bank per se. I will give you some numbers in terms of the cash flow based lending. We introduced 1.5 year, 20 months ago about what we call the business rule engine. And this business rule engine was based on the cash flow, some analytics, some API integration, and the business rule engine for the MSMEs was there for sanction up to 5 crores. And the go, no-go decision was taken in 30 to 45 minutes. And then we have some criteria there, and minimum documents were supposed to be taken. And minimum documents are being taken also. So in these, since inception in these 18-20 months, the new loan sanctions numbers are 1.83 lakhs, aggregating 47,000 crores. And if we add the renewals, existing customers, if we add the renewals, the number of sanctions has gone up to 3 lakhs, aggregating 1.10 trillion, 1.1 lakh crore sanctions we have done through the business rule. For the last 3 years, 4 years, these numbers were not there. In the last 18 months, we have reached to this number. And this initially, this was about the existing to the business, only for the brown field. So we have till 50 lakhs and then 5 crores, till 5 crores. Now in the second phase, what bank is doing now, we are adding not only the working capital, we are adding the projects also, the term loans also. Second phase, we are taking it, the loans up to 10 crores. Third phase, we are taking it to loans up to 50 crores. And this will be completely based on the digital interface. So now the speed has become a competitive advantage for all of us, all the bankers. And no more, I think people don't talk about the TAT and all. People take it, kab ho raha hai, ye bata mere ko. So digital onboarding, eKYC, automated credit scoring, and straight-through processing have reduced loan approval time from weeks or even months to hours and minutes. Some aberrations will be there everywhere. Even after 10 years, some aberrations will be there. Our 30 years also, some aberrations will be there in the system. But the BRE gives approvals in around 30 to 45 minutes. Now, the future of MSME finance is not at the bank branch now. It is also into the invisible finance, what we call where the business happens. So loans, payments, insurance, and trade finance are increasingly embedded into e-commerce platforms, accounting and ERP systems, supply chain portals, marketplaces, and gig platforms. So for MSME, this means working capital when it is actually needed, ability to seize market opportunities, reduce disruption to operations, seamless and almost invisible finance, allowing entrepreneurs to focus on growth rather than paperwork. Now, this has really given a humongous opportunities. One is obviously about the huge credit gap and the number of units which is going to be available for finance, both for the banks as well as for the consumers and MSMEs. This formalization through digital trails is really help a lot of units, not only in coming to the system, but also scaling up. So digital payments and invoicing has brought MSMEs into the formal economy, unlocking access to finance, insurance, and global market. So this will help in scaling up and expansion. Inclusive entrepreneurs is what we are talking about now. So those who are not able to approach the banks, of course, the government of India also has initiated a lot of initiatives in terms of the small finance, starting from Mudra to PM Vishwakarma to PM Swanidhi, and then moving up towards the MSMEs. Easy access to first-time borrowers and women especially, this will help reduce the credit gap. We have one standee here about Asmita. We'll tell this is especially for the women entrepreneurs, and in the last 1 year, the finance to women entrepreneurs under this product has gone up to 1,000 crores. I just saw, so I thought I must mention this. Supply chain finance is going to be covering the entire ecosystem, and the sector-specific growth, so humongous opportunities are available going forward, and as per some report which I saw yesterday only, is about the healthcare and biotech. Healthcare and biotech, the opportunity is mentioned is as $120 billion. And if you add the multiple opportunities available in the sunrise sectors, the defense, the renewable, I think this is going to be, again, a big numbers which is going to be available for the MSMEs, and obviously for the bankers to contribute towards the helping those MSMEs. Now, what role of the banks is there now? So some lenders, we are trying to become the growth partners. Bankers must redefine their roles in the current age. We are no longer just providers of credit, we must become growth partners to MSMEs, which means designing products aligned with business cycles and not rigid repayment schedules, using analytics to anticipate needs and not just react to requests. So we need to analyze what is the request coming, and today also many people must be getting SMS, your personal loan is sanctioned. Everybody gets? Tomorrow the day is going to come when you will get, the MSME is going to get the message, your business loan is sanctioned. This is going to happen. Not as per the request, but as per the analytics, and people are trying to anticipate the needs. Measuring success not only by loan growth, but by customer outcomes. And every time we have some challenges, and some challenges also we face in this going forward in the current world also, is about the digital divide. Not all MSMEs have the same level of digital literacy or access. So inclusion must be intentional and accidental. I think this kind of initiatives, once going towards the actual places, maybe in the clusters, maybe in the areas where we have a lot of MSME units are there, the awareness drive certainly is going to help in terms of creating awareness about the digital offerings available from the government, digital offerings available from the bankers. Data privacy and trust. As custodians of sensitive data, banks must uphold the highest standards of privacy, security, and ethical use of AI. Technology must not replicate or amplify existing inequalities. Human oversight and due diligence remains essential. Regulatory alignment is required. Innovation must move hand in hand, and robust, forward-looking regulation that balances growth with stability. And recent past, we have seen a lot of regulatory changes, the government initiatives, whether we talk about the classification of MSMEs in terms of the turnover and the investment. So now even up to 500 crores, it is classified as MSMEs, isn't it? Initiatives taken from the RBI side in terms of CGTMSE, from the government side in terms of CGTMSE coverage, up to 10 crores. Startups, it is up to 20 crores. The export initiative which we have seen recently from both from the government side, DFS side, and from the RBI side was in terms of the credit guarantee scheme for exporters. Those who are into exporting will understand this. And additionally, RBI also came out with the trade relief measures. The trade relief measures from the RBI in terms of extending the working capital cycle, maybe 4 months moratorium was given in terms of so that your payments can come in time. Also, launch of platforms like Udyam, GEM, PREDS, ONDC, Jan Samarth, etc. have really formalized and digitized access to credit. And currently, perhaps all the banks, they are not taking any documents physically to be signed, I believe. I mean, separate printout is not, earlier used to have the green sheets and all earlier, if you remember. Now, most of the banks, or perhaps all the banks, are having the digital document generation. System will generate it, So there is no aberrations and issues there. And as per the NESL, wherever we have the NESL aligned stamp duty, in those states, for SBI as of now, in 28 states, we are having the digital document execution also happening. So separately stamp paper, you are not supposed to bring it here. Up to 50 lakhs we have taken it now, and this is only for proprietorship. Going forward, this is going to be extended to partnership companies and beyond 50 lakhs also. So all these initiatives, and I am sure many more is going to come, has and will create an unprecedented opportunity for MSME growth for the decades ahead. Looking ahead, the MSME sector is projected to grow from the current 6.3 crore units, which I mentioned earlier, to around 7.5 crores at a CAGR of 2.5%. However, access to credit remains an area of concern, with only 2.5 crore units with 30 lakh crore of the credit gap having availed formal credit so far. Ensuring working capital loans, the term loans, the capex, and adequate liquidity both from the government and financial institutions will be critical for building and thereby sustaining momentum. In this journey, the smart finance era gives us a rare opportunity to correct long-standing imbalances, to democratize opportunity, and to fuel MSME growth at scale. And all this will be achieved by leadership, partnership, collaboration, and above all, purpose. The purpose of making our country Viksit Bharat by 2047. At SBI, we see MSMEs not as a portfolio, but as partners in nation building. We are committed to making SME finance a true enabler of enterprise. I thank Bombay Chambers of Commerce and Industry for organizing this MSME Conclave 3.0, and I'm sure deliberation during the day will certainly bring a lot of insights and help all the stakeholders, especially the MSMEs. Thank you and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an illuminating address. I request Mr. Sandeep Khosla, Director General, Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to please present memento as a token of appreciation to our keynote. Thank you, sir.